particularly African Americans.
Yeah, but we don't have African magazine. It's published by French people anyway. The owners are French people.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of decent ones are in French, so brush up on my French.
Yeah, if you want, we can speak French. You want to speak French?
No. Go ahead. You can speak French, but I'm not going to. What other languages do you know?
I speak my Ethiopian national language, Amharic, and then I speak French, fluent, and I speak English the way you hear me speaking now.
Do you know just the one Ethiopian language, or I'm sure there's much more than one?
Yeah, well, yeah, we have about 200 languages, but I speak the national language, and then I understand some other languages like Orominya, but I speak really the national language, Amharic, and then
So trying to get back to what we were talking about, the American. I mean, we're not ashamed of our ignorance here. Most of us are too ignorant to know we're ignorant, that we don't know. But
yeah, that's what I respect American people a lot of times.
Your career, what's the thing that you like best?
About what I have done. My appearance for the first time on American national television commercial, especially the speaking part I had as a French-speaking woman, which I had a hard time to say beautiful. You see, I used to say beautiful, but now it's, I say like beautiful. It took me about 3 hours to practice in the studio, like beautiful, beautiful, Then finally it happened. So that television commercial. And then when
Tell me the commercial. Tell me what's your line. Do the whole commercial. You must have heard it 1,000 times.
Really?
Yeah, do it.
It's like, that's why I choose Soft and Beautiful by Proline. But there's another woman before me, and then it's continuing things. It's for Proline.
I have that commercial. Actually, we used it in another show.
Yeah, really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like I come this way, and that's why I use the Soft and Beautiful by Proline, something like this, and I appear like a glamorous woman. I like that. And the other thing which I highlight, I'm proud of, when the first time I saw my picture on the billboard in Los Angeles on Wilshire and Western Boulevard, some news media people told me that they have seen my picture all over Los Angeles, but when I saw it, and I said, God, I came a long way, and those people are trying to make me big star, thanks to Americans. I appreciate that.
So how do you reconcile that with the old myth in Ethiopia that all you have to do is go to America and be a big star? You see, you did it. You came here.
Yeah, but you see, I was discovered first of all in Paris as a model, and where I have been working there. And then it's not enough being beautiful, being proportional. It's not enough. Never. Nothing will happen overnight, as you see, on paper. You have to work hard. You have to keep going every day and find way out. This is the way it happened for me. And so I think everybody has to do the same thing. But sometimes when you read about some stars, I don't know why really, they just say, oh, overnight I become like this. Never. It will never happen that. It's a miracle. Especially here in the United States, to be seen or to see an article on national, international magazines and paper about you saying she is this and this, she's an international model, she have done and this and this. First of all, they have to find out exactly what you have done. And then you're competing with 240 million Americans. That's why I appreciate America and the American people, honestly. Yes, it's not easy to be, the first Ethiopian on Billboard, on national television commercial, even the appearance on Dallas TV series as a glamorous lady with Jack Scully and Linda Gray. That was very important to me. I'm not competing with anybody but myself. That's why I appreciate everything. And I always have something, next project.
So if the next project was less than glamorous, would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, right now, as I said, I'm playing on display, and hopefully what my wish is to be on Cosby shows, not just for 3 minutes appearance or 5 minutes, like at least for one season or for 2 seasons, with a good positive image, which will bring African Americans and Africans together. And I have this idea, and and everything. So I'm working on it, and then I hope I'll be on his show for one, at least for one season. That's my wish. That's the only thing I wish right now.
Right now.
Yes.
Okay. Any, just, what was the strangest, funniest, or just most memorable thing that's happened to you in the United States?
Oh, yes. That's the beautiful question you're asking me. I love it. What happened, like I said, I met a lot of head of states, you know, and first ladies, very important people when it comes to their position. Of course, the important person is God, but those leaders anyway. But I have never been, not nervous, but I have never been excited in my life when I meet those presidents and all this, because where I grew up in the camp, in Ethiopia, in the military camp, I grew up by seeing journals, colonels and all this, my father's friends, and then any other journals and colonels. So I knew about leader and leadership by being in the camp. By itself, you know, that's a leadership, being an officer, an army officer child. But for the first time 2 months ago, I had a private meeting with other 3 people, with Jesse Jackson. That was the day I was excited. I was very happy and proud of myself, and I said, if I meet with this hero, not because he's Jesse Jackson, not because he's black, he's a hero. If I meet President Bush, I know I won't have that kind of excitement. But in my culture as an Ethiopian woman, meeting a hero, and he came a long way, I was so excited that day, and I couldn't even talk really. And he was very, very nice, and he received me really just like a hero also. So that's the day I'll never forget in the United States of America. It was a beautiful day, beautiful day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm playing on a play which is going to be national, supporting President Bush's policy, war against drug, and I'm having a big part, in fact leading part. I'm playing the main character's wife, an African woman struggling with a husband who's involved in this drug problem.
Who wrote the play? Where is it going to be, the whole deal?
It's going to be national. We're going to promote first in school, high school, college, and we'll start soon in March in Dallas, with Dallas schools, then to Washington, Los Angeles, and New York. Probably we might come to Boston. I don't know.
Your press kit here, it says that you're the first Ethiopian international model.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got to be that.
Well,
let me ask you this. When you were a little girl, growing up,
yeah.
is it like the same in America, that you can see faces all over magazines and everything, and you say, I want to be that one day, or is it different?
Not really, no. In fact, I never had in mind to be a model. The first thing I had in mind was when I left Ethiopia in 1975 to Paris, France, was to have a better education and go back home and work and, have a family a lot also.
So now you are the, if I'm going to read it word for word here, it says the first Ethiopian international model ever advertised outside of Africa. I have a sort of what we call devil's advocate question. So what? what is that?
Yeah, of course, it's special. We never saw an Ethiopian, we have never, most people, let me put it this way, a lot of people, Americans or British or French, whoever anyway, even in other side of Africa, they never read about, article on an Ethiopian international cover girl, never. And a lot of times now, the only thing we hear about Ethiopia is about the hungers, just like it sounds like the 46 million Ethiopians are hungry, and which is not the fact. So that makes also special. And then, like French news media did a story on me, and the British and America, like Ebony and Essence, the Dallas Morning News, Dallas Times Herald, Los Angeles newspaper, Washington newspaper, and everywhere. So that makes it special because, being international. And I traveled for shooting and for stage work in London. I participated on international show in London in 1985, and Paris, here, Los Angeles, New York, and Atlanta. Yeah.
What do you find in America, unfortunately, I'm going to sort of answer my question and then ask your comment on it. Americans not having a very good sense of geography. I mean, does that get frustrating for you to have to say where Ethiopia is and what life is like there and how it is the same or is it the same?
Not really. You see, I don't blame American people. It's just like in Ethiopia. Before I came to this country, the only thing I know about America was like you go to America like today and then you become overnight rich. So when I come here, I found out that's not the case. Of course, there are a lot of opportunities. If you are a hardworking person, if you know your way out and what you want to do and what you want to be. But I'm not blaming American people, but each time they think like, they welcome me. When I say, I'm not talking about the press media, I'm not talking about television media. Everybody on that level knows about Ethiopia and the rest of the world a lot of times. But when it comes like to other people, some individuals, when I say I'm from Ethiopia, oh, you're welcome. We're glad to have you here, because everybody's hungry in your country, right? And then I don't get frustrated. I just explain. I have to explain to them. It's a part of Ethiopia, in northern Ethiopia. It's a drought. This problem came. God made it. We can't fight with God. That's the first thing. And not because Ethiopian people are lazy, they become hungry. Ethiopians have never been known as a beggar or lazy people. We were known as a hero because of the war we have a lot of times and for defeated Italy, the Italian fascist government in the Second World War. So I explained to American people everything, and most American people really are very understanding people. You tell them what they don't know, they accept, and they support you, and so that's not a problem. When there's something to about your country or about yourself, don't expect people to know about you, because you don't know everything about everybody, right? So you have to explain this exactly about yourself or your country, whatever. This is what I'm doing. I say everything positive, not negative. I don't think negative, never.
Great. Tell me about your the program that you're going to do with the public service announcements, is it, with the presidents of the country?
Yeah.
Describe the whole deal.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to meet, in fact, I met with Gabon ambassador in Washington not long ago, and so they love the idea I have and everything. The drug problem doesn't affect only American people. It does affect Africans. We have African homeless in Los Angeles, Ethiopians, Nigerians, you name it. I have seen that, and I visited also about 3 shelters owned by Ethiopian people. This is Los Angeles. In Washington, I have seen Ethiopian homeless everywhere and other Africans. Most of them are addicted to drug and all this. So I think from my understanding, from what I reception, it's very important for those brothers and sisters who are suffering here to hear a message from our leaders. And the leaders don't have to be from Ethiopia, from African leaders are my leaders. This is the way I consider. So I'll meet soon I'll start by Gabon. I'll meet with Gabon president, and then President Mobutu of Zaire and President Houphouët-Boigny of Ivory Coast. And so I'll bring in support of President Bush and war against drug, saying no to dope. And that's what I'm playing, in fact, on the play we're doing now. So I hope that will help a lot.
Do you think you can get past the politics there? I mean, Mobutu has got kind of a bad rap in this country. I don't know about his own country because I've been there. Are people going to really buy into it, do you think? Or?
Well, this is not political. This is, you see, I'm doing as a humanitarian, just like the Congressman Mickey Leland. He died, he devoted his life for African hungry people, including Ethiopians. I know he was a congressman, he's a politician, but when he went to Ethiopia regarding this hunger campaign, he was not doing politics. And then here, right now what I'm doing, I like what I'm doing now, because I'm the wife, I'm powerful, and I have a brain, I'm educated on the play, and my husband is addicted in drug. He's an African American. He's a struggling artist, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's frustrated because nobody's helping him in terms of Hollywood and all this thing. Being foreigner, I couldn't understand. So to me, like whenever he's late in the evening, like he has something to do with another woman, and I have to give him hard time, something like that. And that's a big part, and then I love it. I love doing that.
15, maybe even 10 years ago, we didn't see practically any people of color as modeling, but particularly the modeling. That's part of your background. What do people, what can people get out of your being there that they wouldn't get out of it? It was just another blonde, blue-eyed Minnesotan young lady.
Yeah, I think it will help especially a lot of Ethiopian people. Before me, Iman from Somalia, she's a top international model, and she was the first African appear on the billboard on national television commercial, and then I come after her on the national billboard and national TV commercial with the speaking part. But my appearance and the publicity I have nationwide and internationally will help a lot of Ethiopians. Like, Ethiopians are beautiful.
Out of what we just shot.
And you make space, I mean. You know what, Richard didn't change. I mean, when I met him, I was a little girl, really. When
yeah,
he
I
did
noticed that too.
But he looks like maybe 35, something like that.
Yeah, well, we
didn't learn about it. We never, and sometimes, the Ethiopian government, doesn't, it's like, don't rig anything, like nobody is stranger, everybody's,
right.
no one came from nowhere. It's kind of nobody.
Yeah, the governments have a way of doing that. Tell me, first of all, tell me your name so you can pronounce it properly so that we will in the future.
Yeah, it's Yeharerwerk. This is in Ethiopia, the way we pronounce it in my language. Yeharerwerk. Can you say that? Yeharerwerk. Means gold of Harar.
Okay. And your last name?
Gashaw.
And tell me why why do you live in Texas?
Well, I live in Texas because of my husband and my brother and my sister. So they're a student there. In fact, my husband graduated in electrical engineering not long ago. But that what happened.
Your husband's Ethiopian, or he's not Ethiopian?
He is, yeah. He's from northern Ethiopia. Yeah, he's an Ethiopian, yeah.